So I remember when I was little, I used to really, I guess, as a young boy, a lot of boys would kind of talk about, the little girl's backside we were in school with, their butt. And then other times, boys would talk about a girl's breast and stuff like that. And I don't know, like, even though I was a young boy growing up, and, of course I started becoming attracted to women and their unique features, their long hair typically, their soft skin. Hello there. I was gravitated towards a lady's feet. I thought feet were just very pretty, very, attractive to me, in shoes and outfits and all that stuff. But I realized that my admiration for a lady with nice feet wasn't like a phase eventually. I realized that this was like a part of me. This was something that was not going to go away. And so over time, I started searching the internet and I started learning that this was something that a lot of men had occurred in their lives as well. They learned that this is something that they like. They like a woman with nice feet, or maybe nice shoes, or and all these different things. So I looked online and I learned for a span of I don't know how many years, but I realized that how big this was. There are people that are having conventions about feet, and they're writing stories about feet, fictional stories about feet, and there are movies about it. And and then there's like the mild area where there's like guys that like to massage feet and and all that stuff. And then there's guys that like to smell feet, and then there's guys that like to, on the extreme, like they like to be kicked and stepped on by feet. And so it's I realized like how big this community was. It was something like, wow. But one of the things I didn't like was, although I don't think my area with the whole admiration for feet is extreme, I feel like there are a lot of people that have really caused, I guess, call it something weird, something strange, especially once you start throwing around the word fetish. It kind of gives it a negative connotation, and I know that there are news stories actually of men sneaking into their neighbors' apartments or houses just to touch their feet and stuff like that. And I think that most of the world sort of stereotype a man as soon as they hear that he likes feet or admires feet or something like that. They immediately assume, oh, okay, well, all of you guys are put together, so anybody who likes feet is the pervert sneaking in somebody's room. And that's not the case. And so I've actually been very vocal about it, because I think I read a story about a real true story about a man who he had this lovely wife, and he married this lady that he was dating. She became his wife. And because he was so self-conscious about his love and adoration for her pretty feet, that even after 3 years of being married to her, he would only wait for her to fall asleep, and then he would massage her feet, because he didn't want to look like he was a weirdo or something like that. And I thought to myself, how sad this is, that you're in a marriage. You're supposed to be with your best friend, somebody that loves you unconditionally, supposedly. That's supposed to be the one person that's supposed to understand you. And he decided that he was going to not be vocal about it. So I made a promise to myself at that point that I was going to be open about it. Not like hey, my name is James, by the way, I like feet. But it would be more so I would be vocal about it, because it's just I don't know, it's just something that I realize for some of us it's an important aspect of who we are. It's not an obsession. I think for some people it is, but it's not an obsession, but it's something, a part of me. Like, if I ever get married or I start seriously dating, I'm gonna have to definitely locate a lady who can tolerate having regular foot massages and stuff like that. And I'll be more interested in the new shoes that she buys than probably she is. So it's just something that I think that we need to keep in mind. But I'm actually curious about you guys out there. How did you know that you liked feet? And you can private message me, you can comment, but I'm just curious, what is your story? Because I know there's a lot of us that have different degrees of this interest in the feet of ladies and stuff like that, but I'm just curious, how did you know that this was definitely something that was not a phase? This is actually your thing. This is something that it's not going anywhere. And then you realize maybe how strong it was. But yeah, I'm just curious, guys. All right, take care.